Are we seeing a much needed cleanup of the drug nexus in Bollywood, or is this just a witch hunt? Joining us is SAIRA, SHAH, HALIM, Harshita Kashyap, NALINI, ASTHANA. I want to go across to SAIRA, SHAH, HALIM first. You know, from our first conversation, it's very clear that the Narcotics Control Bureau has in its hands WhatsApp conversations where Deepika Padukone is seen asking for drugs. That by itself, if she did consume the drugs, is a violation of Indian law, and therefore the NCB has grounds to enter into this case. Do you believe this is a much needed cleanup and long overdue, or do you think it's a witch hunt?
Rahul, see, firstly, I treated this before as well, that consumption of drugs, whether for personal usage or for commercial usage, is illegal. There is no other debate on that. Now, what is of concern here is the right of privacy. What everyone is talking about is the WhatsApp end-to-end encryption, because we know the right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and our personal liberty under the Article 21 of our Constitution, and as part of the freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution itself. So here, every citizen of India is concerned that what about WhatsApp's leaking. Now today, any Thana, any surveillance company can get hold of any chat. So where is the right of the citizen? It feels like Orwellian times, George Orwell, where every citizen is under the scanner. So the concern here is right of privacy. But again, drugs, I feel this whole thing as if this is the only, major concern of the government, I feel is a diversionary tactic. Because the day Deepika is summoned, which is tomorrow, also, incidentally, millions of farmers will be protesting against the
Well, now Deepika will be appearing before the NCB on Saturday, so that doesn't entirely hold. But Harshita Kashyap, SAIRA raises questions about privacy, but does the right to privacy not end when you start breaking the law? If Deepika Padukone and Sara Ali Khan and the others did break the law, should they not be held accountable, and why not?
Exactly, they should be held accountable because they are youth icon, and first and most important thing, there are so many things, their privacies are being violated, but they are happy about it because publicity, it's for their good fame. But unfortunately, this time this is a violation of law, so we cannot take this. And most important thing, drug, of course, it's everywhere, but it's all started from one investigation. So we have to understand that we are not targeting Bollywood or any big name for like publicity or something like that, but it is much needed cleanup. If it has to start from Bollywood, then why not?
And Nalini, Asthana, the Narcotics Control Bureau can and will argue that it's not as if they went on some fishing expedition against Deepika Padukone. They've been probing this stage by stage, and as their evidence progressed, evidence emerged which pointed in the direction of Deepika Padukone, which is why she's been called in for questioning. So what's wrong with that?
Rahul ji, the thing is not that it started investigation all the Bollywood people, the stars. It started from the Sushant's death or suicide, murder, whatever it was there. Then it came to Kangana's the second chapter. Now this is the third chapter. One by one investigating, the things are coming out. It's just not by the stars and these people consuming drugs and these drugs parties, but the thing is the mafia behind this, all who is supplying as anti-national and anti-social elements. So the thing is NCB is looking after and investigating in a very nice way. Whosoever it's involved will come out. The thing is they are very good artists, all are very good artists and very known figures in their own field. But when you say the things are personalized in the parties and other things, and we should say no one is above the law. If law says it's a culprit, it's a culprit. If law says it's not a culprit, one.
Let me put that question then to Karuna Nandi. There is the right to privacy, but there is also the Indian law. And where does privacy end? Because the moment you start breaking the law, should the likes of Deepika Padukone, no matter how popular and influential they may not be, should they not be held to account? Karuna.
I think when people speak about the law, they speak of it in value-neutral terms, right? And it's very important not to do that. Because if you look, for example, at how it's made, for example, if you see yesterday or day before, how law was made, The opposition was basically kicked out of the Rajya Sabha, and some ordinances were passed through. Before that, the day before that, you had a voice vote, right? This is not just this government, though this government is a huge, huge, huge offender. The UPA government passed a section called 66A. Now, what did that section say? That if you send a message that is annoying or inconvenient, and I quote, these are the words, right? That you can go to jail for 3 years. Now, I was part of the case where this provision was struck down. So when people in a sort of, excuse my language and I'm not being personal about the panel here, say in a kind of, parsimonious, sort of holier than thou way, that, when somebody else is breaking the law, they lose all their other rights. Honestly, that is nonsense. All their other rights still exist. For example, we spoke of Article 23, which is a subset of the right to privacy, right? Secondly, let us be clear that when the law is applied in a selective way, this is not a legal argument. This is because there is no Article 14 when it comes to breaking the law, right? We can't say that in India. In other jurisdictions, there is. So you can't say, for example, that mera ghar tod diya because I was in violation, uska ghar kyun nahi toda? You can't really say that.